film.
We have such sights to show you.
Welcome back to the TDMMVI, a horror podcast. I'm Jesse Spitzer.
And I'm Jerry's.
And today we have a special guest on, Mindy, our friend, and she had us watch just a kind of an odd duck in a franchise that is now, after rewatching it, is one of my favorites of the franchise, Scream 4. The one that's kind of right in the middle there. And I don't know, I'm excited to talk about it, so let's just jump right into it. And as promised, we are here with Mindy now to talk about Scream 4. And I am going to warn you guys ahead of time, I'm going to accidentally call this movie Scary Movie 4 at some point. I don't know why those two names I just cannot detach in my brain. But yeah, Mindy, why don't you go ahead and let us know why this is the movie you went with? It's kind of an odd duck in the franchise. I feel like it's kind of like in the middle between two different trilogies almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's actually kind of one of the reasons I think I like it so much. I feel like it gets a lot of hate. It's very, I don't think a lot of people would say like, oh, Scream 4 is my favorite, right? It's really kind of its own, like you said, its own entity within the franchise, because it doesn't necessarily belong to the original trilogy, and it doesn't necessarily mesh entirely with our new Scream, right? Mm-hmm. So, and it also, when it came out, it was, I was closer in age to the protagonists. So, that's probably also another reason why it sticks with me so much, because when the original trilogy, was kind of coming out, especially the first one, 1996, I'm not going to reveal my age, but I was, I'll just say I was in elementary school or primary school, depending on where you call home.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and although I've been watching horror movies basically my whole life, I couldn't relate to the characters or, the what was happening as much, because, I was, in elementary school.
Sure.
And these are high schoolers, on the cusp of college kids. So they're basically 80, right? Like in a child's mind.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So when Scream 4 came out and I was kind of closer in age to the characters, I think that's one of the reasons that this particular addition to the franchise stuck with me.
Yeah, it's a great pick. It was one that I was the least familiar with, because I think I had only seen it once when it first came out, and I did like it. But I really like I grew up watching the original 3, even though that third one is a little rough at times. I still love it. And then the new ones are great too. I haven't seen the 7th one yet, I'll admit. But so this one was kind of one that I just remembered. I was like, yeah, it's good, but rewatching it now, I really, really enjoy this movie. And I was kind of surprised how much of the future movies it sets up, while also like paying off a lot of the older ones. It's a really good like connector of the two trilogies for sure.
Well, we're discussing because Ms. Mindy had watched 7, and we were just kind of discussing it because we were very good employees at our jobs, just discussing Scream 7. And we both kind of came down to, we like it. It was actually really surprised how good it was. And I made the asshole remark, it's better than 4. And Mindy, braver than I am, in a small talk kind of way, goes, hey, I kind of like 4. Like the kind of thing that you don't normally like, the hill to die on, just a conversation. And I realized I don't know why I used 4 for a punching bag. And I was kind of sitting there going, I'm looking back at it, and I didn't remember who the killers were. And I'm like, how asshole of me, I'm going to say it again, asshole of me, did I use a movie for, like, it's just absolute pure. Same way people complain about the Twilight movies, which I haven't seen. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why would I pick this one? So we went back and we watched it for this to prove that I'm open-minded. And I think I'm thinking of 3 when I was using it for a punching line, or I'm just listening to like online chatter. Because 4 rocked.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, we're past spoilers. You have Sidney Prescott. The thing that got me, now I've seen it before, I think I've seen it a couple times before. but it still fooled me with who the killer was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it sets up, and it's genius. It sets up the whole movie. You have Emma Roberts, again, spoilers, we're past it, is there to be the new final girl. And she's, and there's even like a scene where Sidney Prescott, where Nev Campbell shows up. Hi, new me. You're going to be great. I'm your auntie, right? It's the aunt. And I'm going to here to guide
cousin.
Cousin.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because the mom's. But it's like the baton's being handed. It's might as well be like, we're going to meet in episode 1 of Star Wars. We're going to meet Obi-Wan's boss, who's going to be like, oh, here's the connecting tissue. So at the end, when Emma Roberts is revealed, I'm like, how stupid am I? And I realized, no, because they do a good job setting it up. And also Emma Roberts is a whole lot of fun, you know?
Yeah, I think this movie is the most successful at, other than maybe the first one, at like doing the meta commentary as well. Like everything kind of falls into place so perfectly because the gimmick of this one is like it's a remake of the first one essentially. Like the killers are literally trying to reenact the events of the first movie, and it as a remake, like you said, you know, they have Emma Roberts as the new Sydney, and I think Jill is her name.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's so done like so lovingly and so perfectly that. And Emma Roberts, by the way, is incredidy. She's so good in this movie because she is very kind of milquetoast for the first part of it because she's I can't even, I think like maybe there's only a couple scenes where she's really like in danger because she's mostly just under house arrest for most of the movie, you know, that you know of. But when that reveal comes out and she starts like laying the plan out and everything, I hate movies. You kind of have to have them in Scream. But I hate scenes in movies where the bad guy's just like, it was me all along. Now let me explain to you exactly how I did it.
The monologuing from like The Incredibles when they have to explain, twirl the mustache kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. But in this movie, it's performed so well that I'm 100% down for it. I love it so much.
Well, and then when she does the to hide her tracks, the self-harm stuff, it's legitimately unsettling.
Yeah.
And when she pulls the hair out, smashes herself, throws against the wall, I'm sitting here like going, well, do I root for her to miss by a micron and like cut her throat on the window? But no, it's like, and you know, now Ms. Mindy, when you saw this years ago, obviously, do you remember the first time you watched it and were you fooled by it? Like idiot me.
You know, I can't recall the first time that I've watched it because I've watched it so many times at this point. But I'm sure I was fooled. You know, they really tried to push, you know, Deputy Judy Hicks down our throats, you know, as the red herring, the boyfriend as the red herring. And looking back, I couldn't believe that I didn't see Charlie, you know, one of the two film geeks, as being one of the killers when he literally in the cinema club scene laid out what they were doing. You know, that they were filming it to make their art it's almost as immortal as them. Yeah. Like directly to Sydney and Gail's faces and Hayden Panettiere's character, Kirby and Jill, you know, just in front of everyone, and no one caught it. I didn't catch it. So when the reveal came, I was definitely, I was surprised.
Yeah. I think
what's your history with the Scream series?
What's my history with the Scream series?
With Scream. Was it, I mean, you saw him way young. Are you the first day when it's first released seeing the new ones, or do you wait a while? Is it your series?
No, I usually wait a while. I do enjoy the Scream franchise for sure. And 4 is definitely the one that I come back to. It's like a comfort watch, right? Like if I kind of just want something on that's kind of enjoyable, that maybe I necessarily don't need to watch too hard, you know, because I've seen it so many times. It's one that I definitely reach for. It's definitely one in the series that I go back and rewatch more of my own volition without, you know, needing any outside influence to tell me to watch it. Whereas some of the others, like 2 and 3, I rarely choose to watch them on my own, like on purpose. Not to say that they're like awful movies, but they just aren't one of the ones that I prefer.
Jess, you?
Yeah, I love the series. I still haven't seen the most recent one, but up until that one, I was definitely like catch them in theaters if I can. Um, and it's funny, this one, I'm pretty sure this one came out when I still was not. I was like not super into like modern horror. Like I grew up watching the stuff that my mom showed me, and it was too scary for me. So when I got older, I was kind of like hesitant to watch anything horror. I think the first scene of this movie I saw was Jill trying to kill Sydney in the in the hospital. So I'm
spoiler.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there was a time where I didn't know that she was the killer. I didn't know about the other guy at the time, but yeah. So this one I did end up watching when it came out, which is weird, because it was like kind of in that era where I wasn't really watching anything. But yeah, I do. I love the franchise. I love anything that's like that does meta commentary in like a non-annoying way. And not to say that this series doesn't do it in an annoying way every now and again. Like I think it's the beginning of 5 maybe with Jenna Ortega is like one of the most obnoxious scenes ever. I still love it because it is so obnoxious, but where she's like talking about elevated horror and all that.
Yeah.
But speaking of cold opens, I love the cold open of this movie.
This is my favorite one.
Really?
Yeah. I really love
that's crazy. Because I was actually going to say that I feel like the opening is one of the weaker points of this film.
Oh, that's why I love it though, because it's almost like a Monty Python. Here we have the fake movie in a movie. I'll do it again and again, and again, and then the actual starts. I'm kind of going. I almost want like at the hour mark to have it happen again and just be really completely insane.
I'm also so I watched for today earlier today, and then last night I finally watched Return to Silent Hill, and when that movie got over, I was 100% Anna Paquin in the beginning of this movie, so I did feel a little personally attacked. Her friend just stabs her, is like, shut up and watch the movie. Because we've
all been there. We've all been,
That's true.
Yeah.
But isn't that, when did the Scary Movie had the same kind of opening? And isn't that after this one? Because it's almost like they're making fun of Scary Movie with their Jenna McCarthy, Pam Anderson opening.
Oh yeah, I think that was that 3 Scary Movie 3?
So yeah, something like that. I was like, this one, it outdid it, because it was every one of them was like a bigger star, more committed to it, and then but then having Kristen Bell in there, I'm like, she never did a horror movie. I can't. I do. Any one of those setups could have been a movie I would have been happy with. God, I remember. I think I saw the first one was a Blockbuster rental. The second one I was living in Florida. I'd come back to Iowa for some, I don't know, a wedding or something, and I stopped and saw Scream 2, and then went to a bar. Because again, I'm a drunk, and I was a theater student before that, so I saw it. Oh, that's really funny. It's a college movie. It's in a theater, and then the people I ran into at the bar afterward were college theater students I knew, like, kind of a couple of years difference. So I kind of love that, but I haven't gone back and watched Scream 2 since. I've never seen Scream 2 post the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm watching Scream 3 right now. The first hour, 40 minutes of it, just because I had some time to kill. And I'm just like, yeah, this is the movie that I'm feeling when I make fun of Scream 4.
Yeah.
And it's not just her bangs. It's not just a bad haircut. And that's when I think of obnoxious meta. It's that one.
Yeah.
It's having. We're gonna mention Seinfeld, and then we're gonna have Patrick Warburton walk by. We're gonna have Must See TV and have Courtney Cox in it, referring to everyone named after a Brad Pitt girlfriend. But still, as I'm talking about it, my favorite Scream movie is the one I'm watching right now. Whenever I'm watching, and even the 3 downstairs right now, I'm like, I kind of want to talk about 3, just because it is this big ride, and it's still Wes Craven for the first couple of them. Patrick Dempsey showing up, before McDreamy. It's all not to find out before it would have been, but it's this ridiculous. It's just fun. It's just fun. I'm an apologist. I'm gonna lead you.
Yeah, even the worst time watching a Scream movie is still a great time, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because
I just wish that the stab movies in the movie were called Scream.
Yeah.
I don't know why that bugs me so much. I wish the movie was called Scream. Because then the stab, because it's not like you could have, and then I start thinking too much. I go down the rabbit hole, like how the voice changer works,
Yeah.
like, but there's certain conceits you have to have that you have to believe in to just turn your brain off a little bit, because the rest of the movie is so much fun. But you have to believe that you can have a little device that changes your voice to all sound like Roger Jackson, and then no one knows about it but you. Because if it was everyone can have it on your phone, it's kind of silly. And I still want to point out in this one, more than the rest of them, the voice of Ghostface, Roger Jackson, give him his Oscar.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Because I swear, and I have no proof, and I've never seen an interview, and I was trying to find one. I swear he's talking like an actual 16-year-old or 15. I don't know how old Emma Roberts is supposed to be. But like he's not saying like, oh my God, or anything stupid, but he has more energy. He's not slowed down. He's not doing like, he's not trying to be the long lost brother. He's not trying to be the boyfriend. He's not trying to be the cop in the later ones. I could believe that as a girl that age talking to a voice thing, screwing with everybody.
This almost,
I want to see it.
This also feels like I could be misremembering it, or recency bias, but this feels like it's the most like violent that
until the new ones, because 7's pretty damn violent.
I'm just saying, like the way he talks, like the things he says, where he's just like, he'll just be like, if you hang up the phone, I'm gonna stab you in your face. Like, just like, whoa, bro, chill. Which he always has those like kind of bits of rage throughout the series, but this one it definitely sticks out to me. For some reason.
He does seem extra angry, but also he's a 16-year-old girl, and by nature.
Well, I think it was, and this could be complete conjecture. I have no sources on this whatsoever, but I heard that, we had Scream, the original, right? Scream 1. And not too long after that, we had Columbine happen. And so 2 and 3 were kind of dialed back because of the violence and the things that were happening in the world. And, the studios and the executives were saying, hey, we need to dial back this violence. It's not a good look, essentially. So, and I don't know how true that is, but I definitely have noticed, you go from 1, which is, kind of slashery. There's plenty of blood and gore. And then 2 and 3, there's not really a lot of, blood and gore and on-screen violence.
It's
a lot of kind of
shit times.
Yeah,
like the house blowing up with the when he goes to read the little. That's my favorite part of that movie. When he's like trying to read the printer paper, but there's a gas leak, and the killer just
the faxes come through.
Yeah.
And then,
I love that so much.
Yeah, so I think then enough time had passed, and also sadly violence just became more commonplace in society that they basically were like, okay, well, I mean, violence is going to keep happening, and, taking violence out of our media isn't solving the problem. So let's put violence back in our media.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I have not, I'm sure at one point I put 2 and 2 together, but that makes total sense to me that would be why they would dial it back. Now that I'm thinking about it, like if Columbine happened prior to the first Scream, I don't know if we would have even seen that, like got that movie. Cause because the parallels are so easy to kind of draw there. It's kind of nuts.
Well, I mean, Columbine stopped, Idle Hands got pulled pretty much, and a lot of that stuff. But then anything post 9/11 to get stupid serious. For some reason, if you have a school shooting back then, when it still actually mattered, they had a reaction to it. But then like 9/11 happens, and suddenly we're as a country, we need to heal by having inundated with violence and stuff. And also the TV rules changes. So we have money getting put onto like AMC and FX to have Walking Dead, which is there's nothing in this movie bloodier than the stuff on TV now. I mean, Breaking Bad, when it's the high end stuff. Yeah, because you could almost have it, but even like they make fun of the nudity and the violence. It's almost like a CW show as far as how adult it gets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it always kind of felt like they were kind of I don't know. You described it earlier as like this is being a comfort watch, and that's like kind of perfect. These movies are like very cozy in a weird way. It's just like,
well, it helps that Mindy's also very evil. So
I really love, like, again, the character of Kirby, right? She's, and I think that that's probably one of my favorite characters in the film, right? Because she's like kind of the cool girl. She's like friends with the cool kids, right? But she's also like secretly kind of nerdy.
Mhm.
She's really into like horror and movies and trivia. And, you know, so I'm like, and again, at the time, and I mean, even still, I'm like, oh, I can relate. I can relate to this person. And so I just loved watching her. And honestly, I was hoping that they were actually setting up her character to be essentially the new Sydney, right? In this new Scream. Because at the time, we didn't know that 5, 6, and 7 would be happening. This was, you know, what, like 6 years after the last in the original trilogy, something like that.
Yeah.
So we didn't know. We thought this was, you know, a remake, reboot. And I was like, oh, I would love for this to be like our new final girl, right? And but then as the movie kind of was going on, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're definitely setting up Jill, Sydney's cousin. And I was like, okay, I guess, you know, that kind of makes sense, you know, kind of like keep it in the family. And but then, you know, that really, as you guys were saying earlier, led a hand to the twist ending, which, I mean, I thought it was a twist. Maybe a lot of people saw it coming 100 miles away, but
what I remember was anyone, and I'm sure they did, like you're saying, I'm sure people they guessed it because there's always, everyone's a suspect. But I think to really watch the movie, they did such a good job of saying, okay, look, it's the boyfriend. Oh, no, it's the film nerd. But they also make you think that Jill's going to be the new Sydney. So if you're suspecting her, because they never give her the insert shot of looking like, oh, with the eyebrow in the air. They never have any of those bits. And she's there. There's things where at the party, and when she's looking at the friend across the street, it's like normally the killer's missing because they have to be like, you know, the orchestrating it. I never got any scene where they were trying to lead that. So I you know, and it's one of those things I know it was the plan all along, because they talk about the after the fact with how the director was talking with her to make sure she's available for the next movie. Not with her though. No, I bought it hook, line, and sinker. I was completely, and also because I believed, because it's a Scream movie, it's gonna be Sidney Prescott. She's the final girl. You don't replace the main girl, the star.
Yeah, I feel like this movie also does a good job in the same way the first one does, with the second killer as well. With I don't remember his name, the film nerd guy,
the Culkin one, right?
Yeah. You don't suspect him because he's kind of on the sideline, like he's a side character, much like Stu was in the first movie. Obviously, it being played by Matthew Lillard is it makes him a lot more memorable in that movie. Prior to the reveal, but up until the big reveal that it's like, oh, there's two killers, which in itself is a cool twist. You really don't suspect him at all because he's not really that important to the plot. And I think Charlie's kind of the same way in this movie. And then obviously they put in a lot of effort to make Jill not seem guilty because she's constantly getting the phone calls and under house arrest for like most of the movie, quote unquote. It's like police protection. I guess house arrest isn't really the the correct term, but yeah. So this movie does do a really good job of like setting up that it is anyone else. I love that they put so much effort into making it seem like it's Judy, especially after like, you know, seeing the other movies and kind of how her character progresses. And I love that character so much. So it's kind of funny and fun going back to this one and like seeing them trying to set her up. That shot of her like in the shadows in the in the stairwell is really, really funny to me in retrospect.
Well, we all love Nev Campbell so much in this thing that for us to suspect someone, we have to see her suspecting someone.
Yeah. We
have to watch Officer Judy, Deputy Judy, do something and have Nev Campbell go, wait a minute. Why is she here? I'm putting that down in my Clue journal.
Handy dandy notebook.
Exactly. Blues Clues.
Yeah.
So yeah, if Nev doesn't suspect him, it's not a suspect to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh geez, I'm just I miss my mask. My kid, I need to call my kid up. My little $8 Kmart mask I've had since before he was born. Has blood inside of it. It was the greatest thing ever.
Oh, fun.
I still think the one that gets me, it's kind of like how I talk about Del Toro's Frankenstein, where it's the bloodiest in the first 5 minutes. You never have to get that bloody again. And this one has that scene when they're across the street, very Elm Street. The friend's watching through the window, watching the friend, I don't know her name, who gets killed early on. And that is the bloodiest.
And I don't know why I remember that.
Because you're a psychopath. But that scene seems so bloody, and not just, but the room, and violent, and it was mean because she's in the room and the friends are watching it. Yeah. And that's probably why I never suspect Jill, is because I'm like, oh, that has to be traumatizing to see across the street kind of thing. Kind of like the Nancy thing with Johnny Depp in the first Elm Street. Watching her brother get killed across the street. And that one, it's I'm always like, this movie is so gory, but after that, it's really not. It's just that scene, right?
Yeah, and they leave the way that they leave the body too is like disemboweled. Like you don't really see that in this franchise very much. Where it's just like, oh, geez. I
love that. Large intestine.
Yeah, I love the shot of that ghost face kind of throws her out the window for like a moment as like a display, just like, hey, look what I did, and then pulls her back in to throw her on the bed.
My kid once made a joke of trying to watch the movie, and like he's gone through and he's analyzed it. He loves the first one. He's gone through. He knows which killer is. He thinks he knows. He has an opinion on.
Sure.
Is it the boyfriend or is it Stu? In every scene, he says he knows who it is. He has to figure it out. And this one, it's kind of fun to try and figure out. Is it Jill or is it the Culkin in the outfit? And that's dumb because that'll kind of ruin the movie for you. Because there's no way that 5'0", Emma Roberts is picking up anybody. It's like the newest one. I really like 7, and there's no way anyone's picking anyone up and putting it on a beer spigot. But again, if you're analyzing like that, just don't watch the movie. Go watch something. Go watch True Detective. Watch something serious. Yeah. If you need to CSI lineup.
It feels like when you wear the ghost face killer outfit, the mask and everything, 2 things happen. Number 1, you become super strong.
Of course.
And number 2, you become very clumsy, which makes sense because, you're running around with that mask on. And also, I like that that Sydney can kick so much ass, but only if the person's wearing the costume. Because once they're out of the costume and the reveals happen, then she's just like, kind of back to being victim until she has to kill the person finally. Yeah. I like that this movie is totally okay with our heroes being like dum-dums. Like, our legacy characters really just fail at every turn in this movie pretty much. And it's not like in a way that's obnoxious or kind of, it doesn't subtract from their characters at all. It's just like, it's just interesting. Like genuinely, I don't think Dewey does anything to help anybody in this movie. Like he's just,
but then why am I proud of him for being the sheriff again?
Right.
Why am I all like literally going, that's right, he earned that. He worked hard. He went to California for a while, and he did better. And the divorce, I am proud of a fictional character. Not so much a David Arquette because of the wrestling stuff, but I'm rooting for him. And again, I'm getting 3 and 4 confused. Watching 3, they do some dumb stuff.
Sure. Like
there's no reason if they called on a, and again, I don't know what a clone cell phone is, but if they have the fake cell phones and the fake caller ID and the voice changer. Anyone that calls you should immediately go, that's not the person talking to me. Right, and that's 3. Now this one here in 4, they avoid all that kind of, they've gotten beyond that.
Yeah.
But right now where we left off to come up and record on 3, they are in the middle of, oh, hey, Sydney just called. I'm like, no, she didn't. There's if the audience can't be that far ahead of you,
Yeah.
He's gone into 4. And I swear there was supposed to be the only time that, okay, I think Scream 4 could play today. The only thing that's aged in Scream 4 is the cameras that Gail hides in places.
Oh, yeah.
Everything else. This movie could be 2 years. This could be released right now after 7. It has the same sort of the tropes that it excels with. The characters are strong. The way it's fun, that balance is still happening, except for the beer can size cameras she's hiding in places that I'm like, oh, come on.
I also love her sneaking, like, she's literally in front of the screen where everyone's watching, and she sneaks up and then puts it down and then just puts like a little bit of hay over top of it.
Yeah, the little bit, yeah.
It's like, nailed it. I'm actually impressed with the live streaming, because 2011 is pretty early. I don't think live streaming would have been that big of a thing, but
the only time I can think of that being a thing, like being the web series, they had a couple crappy ones, but like Halloween, I'm gonna count in my head. Whatever Resurrection was, they had the it's a Weinstein one again.
Yeah.
They have the live stream kind of thing, like you're in the house and it's like a reality show. You know, it's a Dangertainment.
Right.
But it didn't work.
This one, the guy having the camera on his glasses, and like the only thing that was missing would be him like with his phone reading chat. That's like the only thing missing from like a modern day setup.
It was prescient with all the I don't need friends, I need what's the line? I don't need friends, I need fans.
Yeah, that's a great line.
Which now is like that's a fact. That's just how that's like tattoos and stuff. People have that. It was ahead of the game. Maybe that's why back then when 2011 comes out, I'm like, well, that's silly. That's not a real thing. And then now it's like, yeah.
That is exactly right. That is one of the reasons that I think this film at the time was not as well received. I really do feel like it was ahead of its time. You know, like you said, with the live streaming, with the, you know, just a lot of things about it just felt like it's something that would happen today in 2026. And they were doing it, you know, 2011, and the world was different then than it is now. And I really feel like it was ahead of its time, and people didn't like it. I don't think that people liked kind of the integration of, you know, more technology, right? It's just like when 3 came out and not everybody, a lot of people were kind of up in arms about the voice changer, right? And having everyone's voices, right? Because, you know, so I really think that this was ahead of its time. Even the motive, Jill's motive was kind of, because when I think back in other Screams, like the previous Screams before 4, you know, 1 through 3, the motive was almost always revenge.
Yeah.
Revenge for something. 2, we kind of got a little bit of wanting to be like well-known or famous a little bit. But 4, the motive was jealousy.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, I'm sure Jill, if she wanted to be famous, she would find a way to be famous, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, she has the line in there, you know, growing up, all I ever heard was Sydney this and Sydney that and Sydney. You know, it's very Brady Bunch, like Marsha, right? like all I've heard about you. You've had your time. Like now it's my turn.
Yeah. And
she was jealous of Sydney, and she wanted what Sydney had, and so she would. And she also said, you know, this was never about killing you, right? I think if Jill could have gotten famous, even if it was, you know, through brutality, if she could have done it without having to murder Sydney, she probably would. But she probably saw this as an opportunity to, as she said, become her, right? Yeah. It was a springboard for her to launch into this fame. Right.
It wouldn't have been enough for her to be the other survivor of the same situation. She needed to be, but she even, you know, the not Macaulay Culkin, other Culkin, you know, she strung him along through the entire thing. Was like, oh, we're both going to be the survivors, but she's like, no, there's only going to be one survivor. Like that, you know. And I love that she succeeds. It's so cool to see. I love one of my favorite parts of this movie is when she's getting taken to the ambulance and all the people surrounding her, and she's just like kind of like smiling just a little bit, you know. There's that subtle little like clearly she's just like, oh, I did it. It worked. And then like the final moment of the movie is all the reporters who haven't quite caught up. That's a
neat. I love that touch. They actually get to see what it would have worked. Yeah.
Obviously, it would have been short lived because the next the next report would have been, oh, actually, never mind. She did it all. But and I think there's kind of something there too of like, I almost wonder if there could have been like an alternate version of the ending of this, which is post the world finding out that she was the mastermind and still being celebrated, in that way, or not celebrated as much, but like still reaching that like ultra fame level. But it's like,
the infamy.
Yeah, exactly. As the villain instead of as
it makes you wonder if they because this didn't do that well financially. Mm. And so the second trilogy, the 4, 5, and 6, the original idea for 5 and 6 didn't happen. I wonder if that was Wes Craven's idea, was to have, because it's very intentional that it ends with her on TV being a hero.
Yeah.
And it doesn't show them get it. It could have been that the next one was going to be Sydney being called a murderer of our dear friend, our hero Jill, and have it be fake news. How dare you discredit Jill?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That could have been the intention, because it's like that was set up that way. Because right now it just comes off as a cool stinger.
Yeah, it still feels kind of bleak too.
Mm-hmm. Which would have been very prescient to be like now, where the truth, but no one's talking about it on the news.
Exactly. Yeah, very like don't look up kind of vibes.
And
we need a slasher movie of that.
I was definitely so at the end, like kind of the false ending question mark. When so Jill succeeds, right? She Sydney's down for the count, and then Jill goes and beats herself up and stabs herself and rips her hair out, and then she lays down mirroring Sydney, and she's taken out. And as she was being wheeled into the ambulance and the whole, the press is all over her, I really thought for a second, I was like, oh my gosh, they actually killed Sydney. They really did it, and they're really doing this. And I was hook, line, and sinker. I thought that they were going to end it there, and I was like,
roll credits, yeah.
Wow, that's
how great would have that been? An
amazing, risky, but believable, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's believable that Sydney would have been stabbed 2 or 3 times, and she's been stabbed before, right? In previous movies, I'm pretty sure, slashed.
I'm sure, yeah.
Fallen down countless flights of stairs, etc. Like it would make sense that she might actually die. She is a human, and so I was like, wow, what an ending. And then all of a sudden it cuts to us in the hospital, and I was like, oh, not the ending. And then so we move on from our false ending at the house to the real ending at the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I was interested, because Gail and, Deputy Judy Hicks were both, like, you're never going to get away with this. And she's like, sure, I will. And in my head, I'm like, girl, how?
Yeah, exactly. At that point, it's like,
I don't know what kind of lies you're going to try and spin. Like,
yeah, because
even if you killed everyone in that room, then what? You're the only one left. I mean, I guess you would have to say somebody came in and did this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at that point she was just kind of high on her own farts, because she has that during the monologue. She was just like, like, oh, how crazy was that? I did so good. I told so many lies that I started believing it. So I think at that point, she was so deranged and so like self-assured that it's like, oh, everything's going perfectly. There's just this one little hiccup, and now, oh, okay, there's 4 more hiccups in the room now, but I got plenty of ammo to take care of it.
See, now I want to find someone who will watch this with me, that I can go to the point where they're when Jill passes out and on the floor, and then just turn it off and go, great movie, isn't it? And then not let them know there's like another 5-10 minutes of it. Oh,
that's like,
I gotta find someone who's gullible.
There's that video where the guy edited the ending of Toy Story 3 to make it look like they all died in the incinerator. Yeah. And it like cuts to credits with like a sad rendition of You Got a Friend in Me, and he showed it to his mom. And his mom was just devastated. Yeah, that'd be a good cut for this. Yeah, I like that you brought up also the her mirroring Sydney on the floor, because I love that shot so much too, because she kind of lays down and then you see her kind of raise her hand, and she's literally like in the like trying to lay in the exact position that Sydney's in, which really just kind of drives home both like how crazy she is, or how like how passionate she is of like literally becoming Sydney, being the next Sydney, and like the lengths that she's willing to go, and like her little attention to details. Which, I mean, if you're gonna be pulling off a plan like this, you're gonna have to be paying attention to the details. So kudos to her. And
hand painting fingerprints on people.
Yeah, and I think earlier when I was talking about how like our legacy characters are kind of a bunch of dinguses, I think that's not quite as accurate as it is like, because you're never watching the movie and being like, oh, why did they do that, or why didn't they do this? If you're bought into it and you're also falling for the same tricks that they are, so it does it in a very satisfying way. It's more it's less a judgment of how smart the legacy characters are, and more a judgment how smart the villains are, and how great their plan is, and how like how well they execute it on it. It's I think, again, probably recency biasy, but I think that I love this plan so much, and I think that it's executed really well, and it's fun to kind of follow, especially watching it today. I did know who the two killers were, so being able to kind of see all the kind of subtle foreshadowing. Also, I realized this time around, obviously I don't think I caught it the first time, but the first thing that Kirby says to Jill in this movie is, "You have to promise not to kill me."
Yes.
Which is really fun.
That is really fun. Yeah, there are a lot of instances, and I am not smart or the person who realized this, because I'm such a nerd and I love this so much. I obviously watch a lot of like YouTube videos, of people like dissecting the movie and whatnot. But like in the kitchen scene with Sydney and Jill, when Jill is eating her wild choice of snack of string cheese and chocolate milk.
Can I get that, David?
Yeah. Jill is actually wearing like a dark blue flannel, and Sydney is wearing like a dark blue top as well. Okay. There are a lot of instances where if you go back and watch it, you can see like, oh, she really is trying to be Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to single white female her. Yeah.
Yeah. And, there are lots of times when, Jill just must have been tickled pink when, like her boyfriend came through the window and Sydney said, "Oh, you remind me of me." Or, in the kitchen scene when they're talking to each other and Jill's like, "Oh, how do you handle people staring at you? I could never handle people staring at me like that," right? When in reality, all she wants is for people to stare at her, right?
That's the whole point. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think go ahead,
boss. The coming through the window, I'm going to take over the window thing, which I remember watching the first time. And this is like respecting your audience. So they have that. It's a pull from the original. And then instead of just being like a wink and a nod, hey, see, we're the same series. It is more than that. It is that Jill must have let him know that the window's there to come through because she wants it to happen. Mm-hmm. She wants to get caught. It's all part of the plan, but it's not just an in joke for the viewers. It's not just an Easter egg. It's entirely like the same outfit. She's intentionally dressing like Sydney, which I wouldn't have caught. And that is why it's so much better than 3, because of respecting the audience with those little nods like that, like and then the mirror, literally a mirror on the floor, that last shot when the hands have to match and they're the same body language. Yeah. And then 3 is just Scooby-Doo. And this has got so much more to it.
And that's a really good way to describe it.
We're watching it and it's like, oh, that's Velma. And it's like Zoinks. And it's just when they're going through the house at the end, and I'm enjoying it, but they're going to the house and there's like secret passages and stuff. This is flat out Scooby-Doo, and it's fun. But then fun. Now we're talking about 4. I'm like, oh yeah, I would never choose 3, or I would never watch 3 over 4 unless I'm trying to just be a completist,
Sure. Yeah. And what I was going to say was the reason that this twist works so well too is that you see those moments where it's like, oh, her mirroring Sydney, or like those subtle, like, oh, you remind me of her or you remind me of me, on a first viewing. Those moments just feel like, oh, they're setting, they're doing the setup, and then with the knowledge of her being the like a sociopath that's actually trying to become her, it adds a whole new context to those scenes in a really cool way, in a very clever way.
Well, it's all a big mystery, because the first one is it's a movie about horror movies, and then 2 is a movie about sequels, and then the third one is a movie about trilogies, and this one's supposed to be a movie about reboots. So of course we're gonna watch this thinking, oh, it's about reboots. This is the reboot. She's the reboot character. Then they're like, no, we fooled you. We fooled you big. This is entirely about sleight of hand. It's a magic trick.
So I imagine it must be stressful to write a Scream movie nowadays, because it's like, they've done every iteration is like, it builds upon itself, and it's like circumvents your expectation in an interesting way every single time. Or it's like, man, how are you going to write Scream 8? Like, what are you going to do for Scream 8? I still haven't seen Scream 7, so I don't know what they did with that one. But
you're in for a treat, because if you're watching it after this discussion with Mindy, there's going to be bits in there that we've talked about that you're going to go, oh, that's the 2025 take on this. And I think you'll appreciate, and I'm not saying it works, I'm saying it is the way they're doing a certain bit, and I do look forward to talking about that, because I thought 7 rocked, but I'm always going to love it, because my kid texted me after seeing it, and he goes, I had a you moment. I love this movie. Everyone else hates it, so I love it more. And I'm like, it's better than a paternity test. That is my kid right there. Yeah.
But I think that just as a kind of a final say here, I would heavily recommend this to pretty much, if you're a fan of horror movies, and especially a fan of this franchise, and you haven't seen this one for whatever reason, highly recommend it. I think if I were to watch all of them in a row, I think this would probably be in my top 3, I imagine. I'd have to rewatch. Obviously, I haven't seen 7 yet, and I need to rewatch the 2 latest ones prior to that one as well to really cement that. But as far as the first 4 go, this is easily my second favorite, just behind the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But that actually, I was going to pose this question to both of you. I was going to ask you guys to give me your Scream franchise ranking.
Oh, geez. Like I said before, it's always the one I'm watching at the moment is my favorite, because like then I'm like going to compare it to, but I think it has to go, and not just because Minnie knows where I live. Oh geez, I really like the new ones too. So maybe I'll go 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3. Probably, yeah. That's what I'll say.
Mine would be identical minus 7, because I haven't seen it yet.
I think no, Mindy. Let's not. Okay, Jesse, stop listening. We don't want to oversell it too high for him, because then we'll raise expectations. So we'll just not. It's not
difficult. Okay. I didn't love 7, to be honest.
Okay.
No, I didn't say love. I'm just liking. Yeah.
I didn't end the movie going like, wow, what a waste of 2 hours, but. But I don't think it would be one that I would reach for.
Okay.
Personally.
And that's definitely how I felt about 4 until now. Not that I don't know. I'm excited. I'll probably end up watching 7 later this week, because
I think it just hit Paramount like this last week.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll definitely check it out then. But yeah, thank you so much, Mindy, for coming on and having us watch this movie.
And schooling us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Letting me geek out.
Of course. Yeah, it's always it's crazy that we have not talked about Scream yet on this podcast, because I think both of us are such huge fans. So thank you for finally forcing us to twisting our arms and making us talk about this franchise.
I bet you, now that I bet you people miss it because they watch the first 3, and 3's going down, so they get fatigue. So then they're skipping on 4. I would, like you said a minute ago, I would recommend 4 to modern day viewers, not just people that dug 90s slasher movies or slasher movies in general. Mm-hmm. But if you're enjoying the Blumhouse stuff and the Conjuring movies, Scream 4 is why we have those movies. The Yeah. I'm going to say that right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah.
Huh?
And it is a Wes Craven movie, and it's his last movie, and it did rock. I'm glad it was his last movie. It wasn't like Red Eye or whatever the group of people out in the woods. I can't think what it's called, but I'm glad that he ended it on a high note.
That sounds like this, like an unofficial sequel to The People Under the Stairs. Like the group of people out in the woods.
What was it called? It's like, by the way, great movie, good Paul.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, oh no, this is the fun view.
Yeah.
But I do need to find someone to watch it with, and then stop at it in the mirror scene and go, "What a downer ending, man!"
Yeah, how crazy.
That's like an A24 Scream.
Oh, I'd watch that.
Yeah,
A24 Scream. Something like that happened.
Well, Ms. Mindy, we thank you. We appreciate it, and that you're tolerating us for this time. Off the clock.
No, thank you guys. Thanks for having me. And if you guys haven't already, make sure that you cover Your Next.
We have not.
We do. We have not done Your Next.
I
yet.
do love that movie.
Yes.
That's another one that does a lot of fun stuff with the genre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, we should cover that movie. That's a good idea.
But who would we have on as a guest then? I don't know anyone we know.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I am available.
Do you have a Your Next t-shirt?
I don't, but you know what? If I need one, if that's what I need to get the gig,
All it takes is $8 at T Public. Yeah.
We'll hold auditions soon.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
All right, thank you, boss.
Great. I love these guest episodes so much because it's kind of making us watch movies that I wouldn't,
I wouldn't have thought about rewatching Scream 4.
Yeah, Scream
20
4
years later.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to watching 7 again, and I'm on about Obsession, but no, seriously, I might have to go do a Scream deep dive. Start at 1, go all the way through to the new one. And yeah.
Yeah, as far as like, this is a great movie to put on if you want to get in the mood for a Scream movie, because this just feels, other than obviously the first one, this feels like very, very. I don't know why the word cozy is coming to mind, but
because she put it in your head, and like most things Minnie does, she makes you believe her. But I absolutely, like, I'm gonna go put on. I might just fall asleep to 3 tonight.
Yeah,
because I've got like 20 minutes left. I'll probably fall asleep. But in the new ones, this is such a good bridge between the trilogy and then 5, 6, and 7, and 4 kind of stands by itself because it's about rebooting stuff, and it's just it's such a solid movie.
Yeah, good stuff. If you want to let us know what you think about Scream, I would love to see everyone's rankings, especially weirdos out there, because I know there are some weirdos that have like 3 as like their second favorite of all time, and I love hearing where the movies fall in your rankings and why. You can hit us up on social media at TDMMVI pod at all of the locations down below, or you can email us directly at tdmmvipod@gmail.com. I'm really enjoying these episodes with the guests, and this was a great one. But until next time.
Me too, because I'm lazy. Yeah.
I gotta talk like a third less, or I guess that's not good math. Until next time, I'm Jesse Spitzer.
And I'm J.R. Lees.
And this has been Double Maybe View It. Thanks for watching.
All right, thanks, guys.